So today the stock market just ripped the faces off bears and is putting in a massive short squeeze. And so today I'm going to talk about what happened and what I think is next for stocks, crypto, and maybe even the economy. If you're new here, I'm Chris Dunn. I've been trading for over 20 years and I'm known as the first Bitcoin trading and investing educator. Been doing that for over 10 years. And my goal with these videos is to help you build skills that can help you thrive in today's economy. And so let's go ahead and just jump into the charts. The first chart we're looking at here is the S&P 500. And actually the other day I wrote a brief for the Daily Doe, our newsletter, where I said it's do or die for stocks. We are basically at what I call a do or die zone, where I thought that was going to be a really key pivotal price area that if it breaks, that gives us confirmation that we're actually back in bull market territory. Now, what does that mean? Is that my opinion? Is it some subjective macro analysis view? No, it's simply looking at the price action and knowing that we are above the 100 period and the 200 period moving average. And now we've made an actual higher pivot high from back here in October. And so by the technical definition, we are actually back in a bull market. And you wouldn't believe that if you listen to the mainstream media who's just been beating the recession and depression drum. And I'm not saying that we're out of the woods with that, but as of right now, price action is very strong. Now, what caused that? Well, today we've got new inflation data that shows that the official numbers are still coming down and the market tends to believe that. If we look at the Fed watch here, this basically shows the probability of what people are expecting rates to do in the future. And you can see the next rate decision announcement is here in mid-December, and there's about a 95% chance that the Fed is not going to raise. And it looks like the market is actually pricing in rates to start dropping back into the 4% range by next summer. So a lot could change by that point in time. But as a trader and investor, our goal is not to have some, tribal belief about what the economy should or should not be doing. We just look at the price charts and know that price action is truth. And a lot of times you can look at the charts and just eliminate a lot of the opinions and BS that you hear trying to sift through all the noise. And that's why I just really love TA is you can get a really good read on what's happening. And so if we take a look at how crypto or how this has been working with crypto, one thing I'll pull up here is the comparison of the stock market and Bitcoin. And you can see that Bitcoin had a really big run here from mid-October. So basically a month, we've gained about 40-45% in Bitcoin in a very short period of time. And now we tend to be doing this like stair-step pattern. And then today we see a really big breakout here in stocks. And so I'm paying close attention to see how does Bitcoin respond to this? And if stocks make a run for new all-time highs, what happens to Bitcoin? Because right now, Bitcoin is actually still about 45% off of its high from November of 21. So over 2 years ago, we've actually been in this kind of extended bear market. And then in January, we broke back into bull market territory. But the thing that I'm really thinking about here is, okay, does Bitcoin play catch up here and start to move higher, with the halving coming up and catch up with stocks, because stocks are only a few points off of all-time highs. And actually the strongest looking chart out there is something called the FANG Plus Index, which this is about a dozen or I believe 10 of the top tech stocks. And you can see just a massive cup and handle formation. And this thing is basically right at all-time highs. And that's being driven by stocks like Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and, just all of the majors that have really been kicking butt, especially, even Facebook, aka Meta, whatever you want to call it. But, this is up a massive rebound since the low here last fall. Up almost 300% from that pivot low. So stocks have absolutely been crushing. And Bitcoin has been playing catch up so far. This is up over 100% year to date. But one thing that we're noticing today is if you look at this total 3 ticker, this is the crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what I look at here is for signs of an alt season. Okay, so right now we've actually most altcoins have been kind of flat over the year. They've been stuck in this big trading range, but we've also seen a pretty aggressive pop over the last couple of months. And we're starting to see capital trickle down from Bitcoin to large caps and then to small caps. That's what's been happening for almost a decade. Really the first alt wave was back in 2017, and then we had another one in 2021. And the question now is, are we going to get another full-on alt season, or is this a trap? And one thing that I'm looking at, I actually did a video talking about this really important zone, 450 billion on the market cap. If we break above this, I think we are technically in a full-on alt season, because the expectation there would be that we're going to be making runs and retracements to the upside once we break out of this pivot high from last summer. We have a couple of headwinds, right? There's still all the regulatory action and the fallout from FTX, and public perception of alts is still really negative. And that's not unusual. Market sentiment tends to lag price action. By the time Bitcoin or crypto or even stocks have been in a bull market for several months or quarters or even years, that's when market sentiment in the general mom and pop kind of public sphere tends to play catch up. And then when they hit euphoria, that's usually where the market has topped out or already topped out. So that's why it's important to be dialed in on this stuff when price action's boring. That way you're not lagging behind. But just a couple of more charts to look at here is ETH, which is number 2, Mr. Crypto, has been also consolidating into a major resistance level here around 2,200. A little bit of it like an ascending wedge pattern. And we're also seeing other large caps like Solana and a few other tickers. I've actually got 9 tickers on my watch list of cryptos that have already broken that key resistance, and we're looking for secondary breakout patterns. And I also just so happen to have 9 tickers on my watch list that have not broken out yet. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We've got some alts that have been showing relative strength above Bitcoin. We've got some that have been coiling up and could potentially be making big moves over the next couple of weeks. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. Also, just to kind of look at what's happening behind the scenes, you're also starting to see chatter of NFTs again, right? And this is the part of the crypto market that got hit the hardest and, for better or worse, has been kind of laughed at over the last year, because a lot of people think that the profile picture phenomenon is kind of silly. I tend to be in that camp. But look, at the end of the day, what is the value of an asset? It's what somebody's willing to pay for it. So even though I'm personally not a fan of profile pictures, I do think there are assets in the NFT space, particularly gaming, that could do really well for a long period of time. So that's really what I'm hunting for now, is things that are breaking out of accumulation range, and things that are showing relative strength over Bitcoin. And this is something that we've been talking about in the We Talk Money show. So if you're not subscribed to that, I'll link this up below. Make sure you're getting these episodes, because Travis, Nikki, and I do a lot of deep dives on price analysis, macro stuff, stocks, trends, looking for new investment opportunities. And then also, if you're not subscribed to the Daily Dough, I'll link this up, but every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do a newsletter where we go deep on different topics to help you grow your dough. So just jumping back in the charts, this is kind of my thought right now, is Bitcoin has broken out above that 32K range, has shown relative strength, been doing a little bit of stair-stepping action. The next major price level is 42K. And we'll also be keeping a really close eye on the Bitcoin NASDAQ chart, basically seeing if Bitcoin can have increased gains above the NQ or NASDAQ, which is actually showing even more strength than the S&P 500. You can see this is just a couple of points off of all-time highs. Pretty wild stuff. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Also, if you want to trade and invest alongside of us, check out our wealth building community at the Skill Incubator. Just go to chrisdunn.com/community. You can check that out and come into our Discord channel, get our weekly update classes and all that good stuff. So again, I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Take care.